I'm manifesting, but my current circumstances are terrible and trigger me all the time. If this sounds familiar, then keep watching because what I'm about to share with you completely changed how I approach my reality, even if it's not an ideal one. I learned that if we are happy for a specific reason, it's not really good. A reason can be taken away from us. So here is how we can find joy for no reason other than this is life too, unfolding perfectly for me. This is my life, no matter the circumstances, because this energy is what shifts everything. You become magnetic to what you want when you're in this detached state. So today we're talking about how to find joy in manifesting when your circumstances aren't ideal. And I'm not going to give you yet another technique to add to your list or tell you to just think positive. This is about something deeper. It's about removing the suffering we feel because we only feel it when we resist what is. Because suffering equals current circumstances plus the expectations for what we would prefer it to be. So grab your favorite hot or cold beverage and let's get started. Hi, I'm Marta and welcome to my channel. To work with me or find some of my free resources, please visit the description box below. So I know you are manifesting a better life and you're looking forward to the changes to occur. The dream life seems so close and yet so far away for some reason. We are constantly asking ourselves, where is it? I'm ready. And I feel you. My life circumstances aren't ideal now either. I currently live in a place that I really considered ugly most of my life. Post-communist apartment buildings, cars parked literally everywhere because nobody predicted that everyone will have a car or two in 60 years' time. And there are beer cans laying around if I focus on it. And I have big plans for my future. I am a work in progress. And honestly, I don't think I will ever be done. But here is what I've learned. In the search for the perfect technique and the right things to say and all the tips that I get about how to ignore my 3D when I manifest, we've been neglecting this one thing that actually helps us in this situation, which is total self-acceptance, not giving our energy to things, which means feeling what you're feeling instead of bypassing it with another manifestation method. And this includes our current circumstances. Because when we resist our life and what's around us right now, we reject ourselves because this is our creation too. And there is no shame in being a work in progress. From the time perspective, you will look upon your life now and see it as such a magical time. I promise you. So comment below if you've ever felt about the past with nostalgia. And even though it felt like a struggle then, now it kind of looks like the good old times. So how do we handle what's here now if we don't like it? How do we not get triggered by current circumstances? I wasn't always an optimist, literally the opposite of that. But I'm really good at finding beauty everywhere. And these are not toxic positivity tips, what I'm about to share with you, just some ways to flip your thoughts. These are about removing resistance to what is and finding comfort anchors in the current reality to bridge it with the dream reality. So tip number 1 is to romanticize your life. There is a power in ritual. I find that this one is the most powerful one because it grounds us so much in the present moment. So this is why I'm starting with this one. In my dream reality, I don't feel happy and elated all the time. I feel calm, peaceful, and everything just feels so neutral and natural to me. And I don't jump when I make sales. It's normal to me because my income is constantly increasing. And I also don't melt at the sight of my husband every time I see him. It's peaceful. We are best friends and we are both lucky that we have found each other. So currently, my life is peaceful and joyful as well. At least I try to make it to be. I make my tea with mindfulness. I make my bed in the morning, preparing for a day of fulfilling work. I try to add as many elements of my dream life to my current life. Because who said that this cannot be my dream life too? It is my life, my gift. It's not that I repress the things I want. I don't let them define me, because we often give our wishes such importance that we forget that circumstances, things, and people are just permission slips for us to feel a certain way. But I can create this feeling at any moment. So try to find at least one thing that you will do when you have or are that which you're currently calling in. But let it be a neutral thing, not something that makes you feel high with happiness and jump around. The dream reality resembles more of this quiet joy, not jumping out of happiness every day. It's really a myth. And this is one of the pillars in my program, the Unwavering Manifestor Experience. We work on this nervous system expansion because we cannot manifest what we are not feeling safe to receive. And when we're trying to have a peaceful life, but it's never been peaceful before, or peace feels like boredom to us, which is very often the case, it won't be calm at all. It will feel like danger, which this lack of productivity often feels like to us. That's why we feel like we have to do. That's why we need emotional regulation skills. And when you stop bypassing your emotions with techniques and start actually feeling safe in your body, everything shifts. And this is why I focus on this the most. I also have a separate video about how you cannot manifest what you don't feel safe to receive, and it's available here. So tip number 2 is to find an anchor of your dream life. No matter what it is, find a symbol of your dream life in your surroundings right now. For me, it's a tree I see almost every day. When I see it, I look up at the crown of the tree and I remind myself that my real home sky is the same as this sky I see. When I look up and I see the crown and the sky, I imagine I'm already there and I say to myself, I am already there, bringing the there and then to here and now. For you, it could be a building or sound of a stream. It could be anything from all of your senses. Just try to find something that will ground you in the dream reality for even just a few seconds. And remember that you are the I am. Awareness in which this experience arises is the same awareness, is the exact same experience as in your dream reality. Just ground yourself in this peaceful moment and affirm, I am here now. Here being your dream reality, of course. That's exactly how I will feel. Make this feeling familiar to expand your nervous system into accepting it as your new reality. And just rinse and repeat every time to bring in this feeling. Your dream reality and your current circumstances are not really that different. We often think they differ so much, but that's because we assign them a meaning. But if you find the commonalities between them, you'll remove the dream life from this pedestal where it feels impossibly far away and more like it's here now. So tip number 3 is believe when others compliment it or you. When I post an image of a tree or a beautiful misty morning between the concrete blocks of flats, people often comment, wow, you live in such a beautiful place. You're so lucky to have nature so close by. And I must say, I'm very good at finding beauty anywhere. I'm the one who always notices flowers and bushes and trees and even grass. I love grass and reeds. And I guarantee you that there are people out there who would give a lot to live where you live right now. You look at it through the lens of this tiredness and being exhausted from not living your dream life yet. So everything around just seems like a burden. And that's understandable. That's your confirmation bias speaking, looking for confirmation, which we're focused on, like luck, for example. And when people tell me how wonderful the place I live in is, I don't correct them saying, oh my God, if they only knew how ugly it was just literally 5 centimeters away from this picture I took. And I just select the beauty to show because that's what I genuinely focus on. I focus on beauty. Instead, I believe them and I read it and I say, yeah, it really is. And then I try to find this as a moment of gratitude for what I have right now. Another thing is that it is possible to have shifted internally where others reflect the new you, even though your body seemingly still lives in the old place. I experienced that before many times, that I missed the place even before I consciously knew I am done with that place, only to just find out a few months later that I'm going to leave. My inner self knew it before the conscious mind did. And when people compliment my current arrangement, I choose to see it as confirmation that I have shifted internally. The 3D is just slowly catching up. So comment below one thing about your current life that someone else might actually envy. And I will go first in the comments. So tip number 4 is to notice the beauty around. As I mentioned before, I see the ugly. I acknowledge it and I don't resist that it's there. I simply see it and move to the next thing that I want to focus on instead, which is beauty. Like a plant growing from a pavement crack, a flower in front of the building, a mighty oak that's way older than me, or 20 minutes by foot to a forest. The beauty is always available. It's always there for you to see. We just have to give ourselves permission to see it without feeling like we are betraying our bigger dreams or feeling like it's forced, because it can feel like forcing or settling for what is, but that's not the case. It's just moving your dream desire from this pedestal that it's on. And if you want to elevate your vibrations and anchor a good feeling in a neutral moment of your life, I have a video about this that I think will help you. I will link it here. So tip number 5 is to reframe the waiting period. So listen, I want you to think about something. A year from now, when you have what you're manifesting right now, when it's finally here and just accelerating and just never stopping, you're going to look back at this moment with such nostalgia. These were the good old days. This was my struggling artist era. You're going to see that this was the moment everything was changing. You were on the brink of change. You just perceived it as frustration because you couldn't see it yet. You didn't know how long it's going to take. It's very easy to get frustrated in such situation. But this right here, right now, this is your struggling artist era. And that era is actually magical. It's you becoming. Think about it. These are your defining moments, not the moments of success. Not when everything is moving fast. This right here, are you going to continue or are you going to give up? This defines you. The still waters, the anticipation, the being on the brink of something huge. Because here's the thing, when you get what you want, you just want something new. The human desire never ceases. The hunger never ends and we never get satiated. Let's romanticize this moment right here. Let's fall in love with the process, with where we are right now. The future you is going to look back at this time and think, God, that was when everything was actually changing and I was just living it, looking at it unfold. And I have a full video diving deeper into this concept of waiting, or rather how to stop waiting for your manifestations, and it will be linked here. So here is the truth that I found out that really works for me, and I think it will help you too. You're not going to technique your way out of feeling unsafe with your desires, which it all comes down to. If it was safe for you to have it, it would already be here. The 3D needs some time to catch up once you made the decision to shift. This shift is instant. It's just that what comes after, the emotional kind of turmoil before you get what you want, this is when we often give up and feel so badly. The real work is nervous system expansion and emotional regulation, learning to feel what you're feeling without making it mean anything about manifesting, and especially not that you're failing at it. When you stop being scared to feel what's here and know that all is well at all times, that's when everything changes. And you can actually enjoy the process, enjoy the present moment and your current circumstances. When you release the emotions behind this here and now not being enough and not feeling safe. Not because you found this perfect technique, but because you became someone who can hold their dream reality in their body, feeling it as normal, like your actual reality. because it is for you. It's always been. That's why you want it. If you're ready to shift your focus to see the good and the joy in everyday life instead of waiting for your manifestations and stop the spiritual bypassing cycle, I created a 7-day challenge that delivers daily emails with tips and mindset shifts and exercises straight to your mailbox. It's only €7 and it helps you rewire how you relate to your current reality and challenges your old story while you're manifesting. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this video is helpful for you. But if you still have some questions, then of course let me know. I love to read them, especially with your questions and your experiences. Subscribe for more content on manifesting from this grounded and embodied place, not just another technique to add to your collection. Links to my weekly newsletter, Self-Love Letter, free resources, and ways to work with me are all in the description box below. These are the videos that YouTube think that you should watch next. And remember, you are brave, you are loved. Be kind to yourself. Bye now.